Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for tuning in. It is such a pleasure to speak with you. And I am so happy to announce that I had a at the indoor range today. I enjoyed a Springfield Armory 1911, amazing firearm. And it was a 45 ACP, and and I enjoyed a 357 Magnum Smith & Wesson 686, model 686, Smith & Wesson. That was a lot more difficult to shoot than the 1911 45 ACP, obviously. But they were both great, and I uploaded my first segment since 5 months ago. So that is Second Amendment channel, and I actually put it up on the community channel for this on this YouTube channel. So if you can go on the community and then put it up on the community. And then actually just here you go. Right here. So definitely check out the latest segment on HA Second Amendment. This one is a Springfield Armory 45 ACP at 20 feet, 50 rounds. So it was pretty awesome. It was a lot of fun. Safe. My whole thing is you must be safe. You have to be safe. Follow rules, regulations, laws, everything. Definitely don't. Definitely don't. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Matthew Rosenfield. Thank you. Definitely don't copy anything that I do on the channel. It's just a channel enjoyment of the Second Amendment. I'll upload tomorrow the 357 Magnum. But ladies and gentlemen, I have a lot to talk about this evening. It's very, very important. You know, you have a whole bunch of people who are believing nonsense, and we have to get people really on track in terms of believing what is feasible, possible, not trusting anything, but looking at the data, the evidence, public record information. Now, in terms of public record information, I want to read you some public record information. If you look at what William Barr has actually been very active. He's going to be the new Attorney General. He'll be the anti-Sessions. He'll be everything Sessions is not. William Barr. Instead, yes, because William Barr will be everything Sessions was not. So, he actually wrote an opinion article in the Washington Post. This opinion article no one's talking about. Called James Comey did the right thing. Now, before you say, well, HA, have you lost your mind? Is he defending Comey? No. By the way, to my super chat, thank you so very much. Kristen email, thank you. Everyone, please subscribe to Hello, Alexander. Hello. Hello, everyone. Everyone, please subscribe to my Second Amendment channel, by the way. Here it is. So I'll just give you on 8 minutes and 15 seconds, you can actually see the whole firearm. So, but everyone, please subscribe right here to my Second Amendment. My YouTube representative said, HA, build that up. So I'm building it up. But important. Why is it important? He wrote an article in the Washington Post on October 31st, 2016. By the way, big ups, big props, big thank you, and much respect to the Still Report. I've never know the channel well. The gentleman is very intelligent, extremely intelligent man. Q nonsense. Our military tribunals underway. 26,000 views, and he basically, in a more eloquent manner. Bill Still, very intelligent guy, in a more eloquent manner, tried to communicate. He took Q, the Still Report, Bill Still. A lot of respect to you, sir, because you managed to do something that I've tried to do in a more eloquent manner. And there's a certain gravitas to this. So he talks about how military tribunals are very dangerous. So Bill Still, thank you so very much. We're on the same page on that issue. And I'm sure President Trump 2020. But Bill Still, thank you. Thank you very much. The more people like Mr. Still and Sebastian Gorka and others who just condemn this ridiculous conspiracy theory that's dangerous, and Bill Still explains why it's dangerous. So thank you again, Mr. Still. People need to talk about the fact that William Barr is an establishment figure, but the only way that we can actually get Clinton indicted, by the way, to my super chat, thank you so much. Send to rock these live streams. The only way to get Clinton indicted or other people indicted, and I believe Clinton will eventually get indicted, is to get the establishment Republicans on board. Up until recently, establishment Republicans weren't really on board. Paul Ryan, Jeff Flake, people like Mitt Romney, they weren't on board. To get establishment, you have to get establishment Republicans. And when I say on board, you have to get establishment Republicans to say, look, Clinton is a criminal. The foundation of the Democratic Party is Bill and Hillary. They're the lifeblood in terms of money. So they fund the Democratic Party. The Clinton Foundation funds the Democratic Party. The reason the DNC the servers were never given to the U.S. government is because, and I explain this in my books, but our top secret emails, but her deleted emails, debunking the Trump-Russia myth, and the Allman brothers and Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the reason that these DNC servers are used, that CrowdStrike is utilized, the reason that Fusion GPS is utilized, that Platte River, that Dado Inc., that the Allmans, the reason they outsource everything. They outsource everything. Why can't Hillary? Why did she use a private server? Why did CrowdStrike look at the DNC servers and not the U.S. government? Why did Platte River and Dado Inc., two cloud storage firms, but not the U.S. government? Why? Just ask why. You're talking about billions in access, billions of dollars in potential donations, billions of dollars in donations. A lot of the Clinton Foundation donors are also Debbie Wasserman Schultz and other people. Lyle Budd, FYI, the USPS is open because they are funded by standards. not text. I love you. Let me tell you, Lyle Budd, this is H.A. Goodman believes this. A country cannot function without a strong and functioning postal service. I don't care about email. I don't care about any social media. I don't care about email. I don't care about Twitter. I don't care about any of that stuff. You need to forever. There always needs to be a postal service that is functioning, that you can write a letter to, you can write a letter that can transport a letter. That's what I'm trying to say. So I agree with you, Lyle Budd. Thank you. Thank you, Lyle Budd. But I want to read this to you because this is really important, ladies and gentlemen. The Washington Post, James Comey did the right thing. William Barr, October 31st, 2016. What context? The context, ladies, is we were in the home stretch. Hillary Clinton was supposed to easily defeat Trump. There was a speed bump on the road called James Comey. Why? Because he covered up Clinton's email crimes her July 5th, while at the same time, he couldn't, whether it was the NYPD, patriots of the NYPD, we don't know exactly why he had to write the Comey letter. But they found classified emails on Anthony Weiner's laptop. A week before the election, they found hundreds of thousands of emails, including classified emails that emanated from Hillary Clinton's private server. This is a travesty. This is a travesty. He wrote the Comey letter and people were like, oh my God, why did you do that? How could he have done that? Oh no. And William Barr actually wrote that he had to have done so. And he gets to what he says is essentially he did this because the FBI investigation was not thorough. William Barr basically says the same things that I've been saying. So let's read this. This is October 31st, 2016. This is the Washington Post. Here's the article here. The Washington Post right here. William Barr, the next Attorney General. He's a player, power broker, former Attorney General. He's part of the establishment, and you need part of the establishment to take Clinton down. You cannot somebody who isn't part of the establishment. So here, William Barr was U.S. Attorney General from 1991 to 1993. He is supporting Donald Trump in the presidential election. The continuing refrain from Hillary Clinton's supporters and FBI Director James B. contrary to Justice Department policies. Given the particular circumstances facing Comey, it is absurd. While I do not agree with everything done and said over the summer in connection with the email investigation, I think that last week, Comey had no choice but to issue the statement he did. Indeed, it would have violated policy had he not done so. So he throws cold water on, oh my God, Comey interfered in the election. Comey interfered in the election. Oh my God. Earlier this year, everyone was calling for a responsible investigation of the email matter. The FBI pushed ahead, and in July, Comey announced that the matter had been thoroughly investigated and that he would not recommend prosecution. The announcement was a great boon to Clinton's campaign. She touted it as vindication, and in the wake of Comey's announcement, her poll numbers appreciably improved. Now, William Barr knows exactly what took place. He knows that the Clinton email probe was a cover-up. He knows that. But he said Comey did her a solid, but she was such a criminal that she couldn't. there was so much criminality that they found classified intelligence on Anthony Weiner's computer. Could you imagine if the tables were turned? They're getting just over a Trump Jr. on the emails that were allegedly hacked, which actually points right back to Clinton's crimes. What they've done is they've inoculated her crimes by trying to wrap up everything into Trump-Russia collusion, which is nonsense. Bo Rachel wins. What is going on with Anthony Weiner? Is he at least going to jail for the emails he had, or well, he's in prison right now. He's in prison right now. He is in prison at this moment. Rachel wins. Mr. Weiner is in prison. So the former, okay, so he's going to be released from prison early. Former New York Democratic Representative Anthony was said to be released from prison about 3 months earlier. So wait, August of 2019. Oh no, it's now set for May 2019. So he's being released in May, which is great news for the Democratic Party. So anyway, yes. So he's Brian Daly for good behavior. So Borrecho wins. Thank you. Currently in prison, but he will be released on good behavior. Don Teskey, thanks, HA. So glad people are discussing this. Thank you so much, Don. And I'm going to discuss this. I wish I was joking. Borrecho wins. I wish I was joking, but here's a wait, where was that article? Yeah, Anthony Weiner to be released from prison early for good behavior. So Carlos Danger will be released from prison early for good behavior. He was sentenced to 21 months. His prison date would have ended August 2019, but is now set for May 14th, 2019. The project release date includes credit for good conduct time earned and good conduct time that may be earned throughout the remainder of a sentence. So here's a guy who had classified intelligence on his laptop, and if Manafort had that, they would put the book on him. Oh my God. If Papadopoulos had classified intelligence, oh my God. Oh my God. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? But you know how it goes. Thank you, Don. Thank you very much for your kind words. Thank you. So, on to write, the FBI then discovered that the investigation had not, in fact, been a complete one. So this is a nice way of William Barr saying, there's a lot, by the way. William Barr is all over the internet in terms of what he's written, in terms of speeches. And I'm telling you, it's like an extension. I'm not telling you to trust William Barr. I'm not even telling you to trust President Trump. And I'm voting for Trump in 2020. And I'm a Trump supporter. What I'm saying is there's light at the end of the tunnel. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and it very well could be through William Barr. Now, the FBI then discovered the investigation had not, in fact, been a complete one. So that's great. We're seeing eye to eye. It appears that exist on a computer belonging to former Congressman Anthony Weiner and Clinton aide Huma Abedin, and that had not been turned over during the failure of the Clinton camp to provide all pertinent evidence rendered Comey's July announcement misleading. The failure of the Clinton camp to provide all pertinent evidence rendered Comey's July announcement misleading. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to highlight this and copy it. Here it is. The failure of the Clinton campaign to provide all pertinent evidence rendered Comey's July announcement misleading. He is condemning, he's basically saying, look, I'm not going to even dignify Comey's investigation. The failure of the Clinton camp to provide all pertinent evidence announcement misleading. And wiped her server with a cloth. It was just a cloth. She just wiped it with a cloth, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. It was just a cloth. It appears that thousands of emails on a computer belonging to former Congressman Anthony Weiner and Clinton aide Huma Abedin had not been turned over during the investigation. The failure of the Clinton camp to provide all pertinent evidence rendered Comey's July announcement misleading. The FBI's investigation was not comprehensive and not complete, and the conclusions announced by Comey were therefore premature. This is the new general. When it all goes down, if and when, I do believe the writing's on the wall, could be Trump's second term, could be next month. I'm not telling you to trust, and don't trust anyone but people who love you. That's it. That people who, family, friends who love you, and don't trust anyone else. Everything else is risky. But this is a good sign. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to try to cultivate a bunch of lemmings. No. This is real life here. This is real life. Tina Bobina! I never discussed politics, but egged into it last night. I stood my ground and had an answer for every Trump put down. Thank you for the ammo. Yes! Tina Bobina! Yes! Yes! Yes, Tina Bobina, yes! I like that. Thank you. The FBI's investigation was not comprehensive and not complete, and the conclusions announced by Comey 3 months ago were therefore premature. That's what I'm talking about. You think Sessions would say that? Sessions was like, I think you did a great job, Comey. You did a fantastic job. You. Love you so much. Trust me. This is William Barr, the next Attorney General. The FBI's investigation was not comprehensive and not complete, and the conclusions announced by Comey 3 months ago were therefore premature. Ladies and gentlemen, if there needs to be a movement or whatever, I'm not trying to say there should be one. I'm saying if there needs to be excitement, enthusiasm, hope, but also make sure they follow up, make sure, anticipation, let Trump, this should be, hey, President Trump, in addition to the wall, you promised to lock up a criminal or at least investigate a criminal. It has to be another investigation, gentlemen. Another major investigation. There are ongoing investigations right now. They can indict Clinton right now. But there very likely has to be an ongoing investigation. She could be indicted next month, next week, next year, or in the second term. But William Barr, the new Attorney General, agrees with everything I've been saying. Joseph, that's a great idea. I do have to do an audio. If the FBI remains silent about the newly discovered incompleteness of its earlier investigation, it would be deliberately leaving uncorrected a misleading statement being used by the Clinton campaign to its political advantage. This guy intends. Old school Republican. Old school Republicans have Clinton hate from the 90s. That's real dislike. Not this fake dislike. This guy knows. He battled the Clintons in the 90s. Okay? He knows. Thus, failure to correct the record would have been deceitful and would have represented a political decision to influence the election by leaving in place a misleading statement. How many times has our future Attorney General stated a misleading statement? Of course it's misleading. The whole thing was a cover-up. She's a criminal. Of course, at this point, the right choice was honesty. Explaining the new emails had been found and would have to be reviewed. To the extent this step might affect the election, and if effect arises from correct, erroneous statement, in other words, from truthfulness. Wow. Original statements erroneous. Mitt Romney. He called the prior statements of Comey erroneous. That is a profane statement from the establishment. That's the way the establishment insults one another. Your statement is erroneous. Oh, yeah? Them's fighting words. If that's the way the establishment goes after each other. Statement erroneous. You're basically saying, look, bunch of nonsense. It's an absolute bunch of nonsense. An absolute bunch of nonsense. And people are already, thank you, everyone. People, to the 509 people, everyone, please subscribe to my Second Amendment channel. Here it is. Here's my Second Amendment channel, and here is my latest upload right here. Springfield Armory. Beautiful, beautiful. Very expensive. Also, the firearm, very expensive. But it's, I just joined a wonderful, wonderful indoor range, and I can rent different firearms. Papa D just got a plasma lighter. Time to burn vape, etc. Got me some fat wood. Papa D, awesome. Be safe. Be careful. But I don't need to tell you that. You're awesome and always and awesome. Happy New Year. Thank you, Papa D. Thank you. Much is being made of the point that Comey does not know whether the new trove of emails is significant. See, I love that when Comey was like, we just don't know. Could you imagine if the tables were turned and Trump had classified emails on Kushner's laptop? My God, my goodness, it would be never ending. Ladies and gentlemen, the mainstream media you can listen to for events. The spin is oftentimes the events. Certain events take place. Trump met with Pelosi. Biden met with Schumer about the shutdown. Things take place. Comey did write the letter. Things take place. The reporting is okay. What the fake news, and when Trump says, enemy of the people or whatever, it's the constant hysteria and maniacal spin. That's why this channel is important. That's why you're important. That's why this channel is nothing without its viewers. So my viewers make the channel. So I thank you. And you support, this voice, and, you're awesome. You share my work. Thank you. The spin is the problem. When I don't like when people say, don't trust MSM. Don't trust MSM. Don't trust the MSM. The MSM stream is bad. You don't have to think that way. You don't have to say, don't trust the mainstream. You can listen. And I always utilize public record, mainstream, Washington Post or CNN articles. But I do so because the public record is enough. I can utilize their words. If you can utilize mainstream media against mainstream media. That's the whole point. The spin is the fake news. But here you have a pretty awesome article. Much is being made of the point that Comey does not know whether the neutral that misses the point. The two critical facts conveyed to the public in July were that the investigation was completed and that based on the completed investigation, no prosecution was warranted. Disclosing these facts did not run afoul policy against commenting on investigations while they were underway. There is nothing wrong with conveying such facts in cases of overriding public interest. It is done all the time, as for example, in the House banking scandal and so-called Iraqgate matter during the 1992 election. But, Lord. But once the new emails were discovered, these statements could not stand. They were invalidated precisely because more investigations of the emails was necessary to complete the investigation and make a final determination of Clinton's culpability. And we know 2 years worth of more classified intelligence of questions on how she started, how she began the private server. How did she transfer the emails? Paul Sperry, John Solomon, Tom Fitton, Kimberly Strassel, Sarah Gino have all spoken about this. And I constantly speak about this. That's 7 people. There's a couple more people also that always speak about this public record data. We don't need the military down to go to Reddit. They were invalidated precisely because more investigations to complete the investigation and make the final determination of Clinton's culpability. This is all that Comey's letter said, that the FBI has now has to review more emails before it can say it has completed the investigation. In other words, Comey simply said the FBI, they had 18 classified emails. Now, at this point right now, they didn't know. Freedom Autopsy Report. Thank you. Bombastic bullshit! Following HA for millennial parental guidance advice. That's good. That's good. Bombastic Bushkin. Like that. I like that a lot. All right. I like this William Barr. William Barr, I love that. Love what he's saying. Love William Barr, our new Attorney General. It's fantastic. Another complaint made is that in July, a judge, rather than the FBI, should have made the ultimate call on whether the facts justified prosecution. That is true, but in this case, it does not appear that Comey was usurping power so much as receiving a punt from the Justice Department. Now we know he was usurping power. We know from the IG report. William Barr did not know 2 years worth of revelations from Mark Meadows, revelations from the House Freedom Caucus, from Louis Gohmert, from Peter Strzok. He didn't know Peter Strzok said, "We'll stop Trump." He didn't know that Peter Strzok deleted gross negligence, which is U.S. Code 793F that she should have been indicted on. He didn't know all of these things, ladies and gentlemen. Now he knows. William Barr is going in, and the establishment can't do a thing about it because he is part of the establishment. He's so much a part of the establishment, they don't even know what's coming. They think he's okay. They think he'll play ball. Lindsey Graham loves him. Graham loves somebody. He's definitely an establishment figure. But nobody is reading, could I be looking too much into this? Sure. Could I be wrong that he's going to do something? Sure. Am I telling you to trust Barr? No. Does it look good? Yes, it looks very good. It looks very, very good. William Barr, the chances have increased exponentially with William Barr. And I have a very difficult time believing that Trump would pick another horrific failure like Sessions. I have a very difficult time thinking that. So, the claim that Comey's actions violated and then this is interesting. This is really interesting. They kept saying, well, this is policy. You can't, during an election, and William Barr is like, nah, that's wrong too. That's not even correct, what you just said right now. So the claim that Comey's actions violated a Justice Department policy is just wrong. There was no policy and never has been. The department avoid any action that could affect an election. There you go. Rather, the policy has been twofold. First, prosecutors should not take any action for partisan reasons, for the purpose of affecting an partisan reason. Second, what Loretta Lynch did. So actually, they broke policy. Every single thing they say, every single collusion with Russia, every single issue that they leveled upon Trump, they are guilty. Second, where the timing of an otherwise bona fide investigation or prosecutive step could affect the outcome of an election, those actions should be deferred absent a strong public interest that justifies taking the action before the election. Sometimes this requires difficult judgments. Here, it did not. Indeed, if anything, Justice Department policy would have been to remain mute and fail to correct the record. I love how he brings up correct the record twice, which is hilarious. The David Brock's thing. I love that. Bombastic Bushkin. I didn't know that. If Joe DeGeneva likes Bill Barr, then there you go. And Victoria Tenzing, 8 people, including Paul Sperry, Kimberly Strassel, Sarah Carter, Dan Bongino, Tom Fitton. I'll put myself in there. I'm not named as those wonderful people, but I've done some things. And then Joe DeGeneva, Victoria Tenzing. That's 8 people right there. And then he says, finally, it must be remembered that this whole situation could have been avoided if those in the Clinton camp had provided all pertinent information to the FBI to begin with. They were looking They were looking for early resolution of the matter, and it was in their interest to be as thorough as possible in supplying information to the government. Whether through an innocent oversight or not, they failed to do this. To the extent this correction of the record is difficult for self-inflicted wound. William has zero sympathy for Clinton losing the election. Zero sympathy. Absolutely, positively zero sympathy. Zero. Absolutely zero sympathy. And Horus! Horus! Shavua Tov, Horus. That's like that's like a Hebrew word after the Sabbath, which Saturday almost, maybe not this hour, but I'm really 2 years has afforded him the opportunity to shake out most of all dead weight. These next 2 years are going to be epic. They will be epic, Horus. They will be. And everyone here, ladies and gentlemen, start a William Barr, start getting enthusiastic, but cautiously enthusiastic. Cautious. Be cautious. You don't have to trust me or anyone. Don't trust Barr. I'm telling you right now, do not trust William Barr. Do not trust William Barr. Sinya Tulupin, Shavua Tov to you. Thank you. Do not trust what? The writing's on the wall. And I was thinking about it. I was like, whatever happens in terms of indictments for Clinton has to come through the establishment. It wouldn't come through military tribunals. That's ridiculous. It wouldn't come through Gitmo. That's ridiculous. Ronald Foose, that will be the live stream of all live streams. No. I'm not saying there is no plan. Be in other sessions. But I'm thinking, Alexander, I love you. And I thank you, and God bless you for watching my channel and dealing with me. And just thank God with my stupid impressions and all that. But I can't. It's kind of like I've been burned. It's kind of like, if I had a girlfriend and that's how I feel about Bernie. It's like it's like that. You know that song, Backstabbers? That's how I feel. But I love you for watching, and I thank you, and God bless you. And I respect your passion because I used to be that passionate. Believe me. I wrote 100 articles in the Hill, the Huffington Post, and Salon. All right, I'll eventually read it. Okay. But thank you as always for watching. You're awesome. Finally, it must be remembered. So here, I'll read this again because it's amazing. Finally, it must be remembered that this whole situation could have been avoided if those in the Clinton camp had provided all pertinent information to the FBI to begin with. She wiped the server with a cloth. Look, this guy, William Barr, look, could he be what we were waiting for? I don't know. But everything that he's written, see, Jeff Sessions is never doesn't really write anything. He was never really in the Washington Post or anything like that. There are no, you know what? He even said, the Clinton Foundation's a scam. But Sessions, his life goal was becoming Attorney General. He worked at the Justice Department forever. This guy, Attorney General. This guy is a conservative, but an old school conservative. Not like a Jeff Flake or a Romney or you know, a McCain, who McCain's an old school conservative, but McCain is like far type, old school Reagan, Herbert Walker Bush conservatives are not interventionists. So, I mean, yes, you had Desert Storm, but then they just then out. They didn't stay forever. They did not. They're not the neoconservative liberals who want to just keep Americans thousands and thousands of miles forever. You know, what kind of liberal, wonderful liberal says, oh, let's just keep this person away from their family forever? You know, that is completely immoral. Completely immoral to do that. But that's what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about a whole new paradigm. This is a whole new paradigm of thought. They just don't care. Word semantics, that's what they care about. Words, semantics, you know. And it's okay. So hold on, I missed the super chat. Oh, Brick Dictator, thank you. HA, look up Peter Schiff. I wonder what you think. I wonder what you would think about what he's saying about the markets and the dollar and the effect on 2020. Let me look him up real quick. Thank you, Brick Dictator. Thank you. I don't think we're heading, like, people say there's going to be a recession. I don't think, some people are saying, I don't think there will be, but at all. The bubble has popped. Okay. Peter Schiff says, we're not in a bear market, but a house of cards that the Fed has built. Interesting. We're in a lot of trouble. This isn't a bear market, but it's something close. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, I know that it's good that Trump is restructuring trade deals. I know that it's good that there's more manufacturing jobs. I know that the jobs report came out, and that, of course, we have a heck of a lot of debt. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Let's see what's going on. So Trump, he is not giving up, and he will lose 2020 if he gives up. This actually is going to work in his favor. The number of employed Americans has now set a 14th record under President Trump over the year. Average hourly earnings have increased by 84 cents or 3.2%. Participation rate hits jobs up big, plus 3. Record number working in 20 years. That's good. Hispanic unemployment lowest ever. Fantastic. Dow plus 747. I love when the market was doing well, people are like, it's okay. Rob 589 in the latest Rolling Stone, he is pumping up Bernie again. Says maybe he can do it this time. Rob 589. I like Matt Taibbi's work. I think he's a very, very, very. And with all due respect, there are Bernie supporters who watch the channel, and I love you, and I thank you. I don't think that Bernie will ever if they cheated him once. Here, Rob 589 and everyone, this is how I feel. If you, man or woman, if you're, let's say I go to the altar and I'm about to get married, and my wife is not there, and she actually marries the limo driver, and they're off to Cancun, and I'm stuck there with the wedding reception, and I'm at the altar. I'm not gonna really, and then they get divorced, and then they're like, and then she's like, oh well, I miss you and I love you. It's like, that's the analogy. Like, they didn't want, they won't let him win, and it will be an establishment that, or maybe Beto O'Rourke, which is why I think Bernie is going to be like, my new name is Rico Suave Sanders. If it works for Beto, it'll work for me. And I just don't think that they cheated him once. Alexander, I do agree with you. That Bernie should start a third party. That I agree with 100%. I wouldn't join it because I am Trump 2020, but I do agree that Bernie needs to start a third party. But see, he had that chance with Jill Stein. He didn't want to. So, Horace! In my humble opinion, I think Dems are going to shoot themselves in the bum, focusing only on chaos and destruction, and awakening grows. I agree with you. Who is Beto? Alexander, yeah. I like that. That's a good mentality. Who is Beto? I like that. The only problem is everyone loves Beto. They love him. Horace! I agree with you. I agree with you on that. But they have the media, so the media always gives them a soft landing. Always gives them the softest landing. Softest landing. Let me lightly. Let's set you down lightly. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very much. You are all wonderful. Thank you. Thank you all for watching. And there will be an HA After Dark later this evening. To my super chat, thank you. Everyone, thank you so very much. Before I leave, please, 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 please check out my latest upload. I'm building that channel, and it's going to be a great channel. My HA Second Amendment channel. It's growing. Subscribe to it. HA Second Amendment. Subscribe to it. And let's see. It is growing. Here it is. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you. God bless. I'll see you all soon. Thank you so very much. Thank you.